Let's just move on to some other news, and of course the big story in aviation. Kingfisher has declared a partial lockout. The CEO met with the Director General of Civil Aviation to discuss safety concerns and other issues. The larger question, however, is this now the writing on the wall for Kingfisher? How long can they last with just 7 planes and no payment of salaries? And is it bad news for India's aviation industry if Kingfisher actually shuts down?
Kingfisher has declared a partial lockout until Thursday, which means a temporary cessation of operations. It gives Kingfisher the window to restart operations. Meanwhile, in a very strongly worded letter to the management, the Kingfisher engineers have said that we are not being paid, but we are made to work by soothing emails and false promises. They've questioned, has anyone in the management given a thought as to how we continue to support our families?
Salary part, did they ask you anything on salary?
Which we plan to clear in the next few days.
Are you getting your salary, sir?
How can I? I get the last check.
अब issue passenger safety का आ गया है. So in this situation, we will not allow them to fly unless the engineers certify the planes. Basically, that's the issue.
Safety and passenger inconvenience may be on the top of the list of the DGCA concerns, but if Kingfisher continues to remain in a lockdown mode, that essentially means that 85 less flights will operate per day, which gives other airlines the chance to mark up their fares, not a concern that the DGCA can also afford to ignore. This perhaps explains the logic why it's in the interest of everyone to keep Kingfisher afloat.
And speaking to NDTV exclusively, the Civil Aviation Minister who I spoke to a short while ago, I began by asking Mr. Ajit Singh, Mr. Singh, the worst crisis so far for a private airline, do you see the government as having any role at all in saving Kingfisher? The reasons are just outlined in our report, or do you think the government has no role, it's up to Kingfisher whether it sinks or swims?
Well, basically, it's for the DGCA to look at the safety aspect. See, they have had problems for quite some time now. They haven't been able to pay salaries for a long time, and sometimes pilots, sometimes other people have gone on a strike. But this time the problem has arisen because the engineers have refused to certify them as airworthy, the planes, and in that case DGCA won't allow them to fly.
No, but it's interesting, Mr. Singh, that you raised the safety issue. There was a controversy recently about the shifting of former DGCA Bharat Bhushan, and that he had warned about safety concerns of Kingfisher. Do you think things would not have been so bad today if Mr. Bharat Bhushan had not been unceremoniously transferred by you?
Please, you are taking a different aspect, and whatever Mr. Bharat Bhushan had told you, press people, he had asked for an inquiry. An inquiry has shown that no notice was sent to Bharat Bhushan, no letters were dispatched for him to come and talk about it, and in fact in the previous inquiry or whatever the audit they had done, he had given a clean chit to Kingfisher.
But
so don't tell me that you are welcome to come and look at all the papers. Inquiry was conducted, there was no dispatch number, the computer was inspected, there was no trace of him recorded anything like that.
Right, but the larger issue as well of the viability of Kingfisher. Recently, your government, and you were a proponent, cleared FDI in aviation because you all said the airline industry is struggling, and the hope that airlines like Kingfisher would actually get a much needed foreign investment for them. Do you think FDI will be able to save Kingfisher?
Listen, I'm not going to speculate about Kingfisher's financial problems. They have a management, it's for them to mobilize resources. And this FDI in aviation, I have said all along, it's an enabling legislation. It's a long-term effect. We expect there will be more airlines coming here, there will be code sharing, their management expertise, their technical expertise will help the airlines. But what will happen to Kingfisher, whether they will get FDI or not, I'm not in a position to say.
The worry, of course, sir, however, if Kingfisher shuts down, is the impact on the larger aviation sector and the impact on passenger fares. What do you see the impact being if Kingfisher actually has to shut down?
See, anytime the capacity is reduced, naturally there will be impact on the passengers. See, if the safety issues are there, that overrides all these issues.
What do you see, sir, finally, as the viability of the aviation sector today? Will there be a Kingfisher ripple effect in the industry?
Well, let's face it, all the airlines, as you said, are under financial stress. And partly the reason is the operational costs are too high. Also the economy, not only in EU, worldwide, there is a problem there. And travel and the hospitality sector are the first one to suffer. But without aviation sector is not a sector now that we can allow to become dysfunctional or fail, because it's vital for economic growth.
Right, Mr. Ajit Singh, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app, fully optimized for retina display, full screen view, faster response time, and Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.